round 3 of the GT3 season. Going to be a very interesting one today because we have quite a couple drivers, 14 drivers. Jesus, you know, I would be a great driver, just saying. You know, no, I'm joking, I wouldn't. These guys are, I don't know, I've not played Project Cars that much. I've only done one race on it, so you could say that it's not really my strong point when it comes to racing. On this game, just keep it to F1. But hello everyone, this is going to be a pretty darn good race today. We've had 2 different winners in the last 2 rounds, Jenson Randall and Jeremy Pope, so it's very interesting to see what's actually going to happen this season because, well, to be honest, we've had 2 different winners, 2 different people fighting at the front. First round we had Sandro and Jeremy Pope on 2, then next round we had Jenson Randall and Cameron Weston Edwards battling. So 2 different drivers at the front, but still very interesting to see what's actually happened. Jenson Randall is actually currently leading the GT3 championship just by 1 point, I believe. It's been very interesting so far. Jenson Randall actually having a bit of a resurgence at round 2. I'm pretty sure he's pretty annoyed about the fact that he didn't win the first round, but we currently have Sandro Dulius in 2nd and Jeremy Pope in 3rd in this Drivers' Championship at the moment, and the Mercedes AMG racing team actually leading Audi Sport. Audi Sport need to kind of pick up the pace. I mean, they're not been great against the Mercedes. The Mercedes have been pretty dominant, but hopefully we can see them actually win a race and hit back at the team. We're just loading into Spa-Francorchamps. I know this track quite a bit. You know, we raced here last week, I believe, in SRL. If it's last week. In SRL, I actually finished 5th because I got spun around at the start of the race, which is fun. Good recovery drive from 10th, battling the 2 Ferraris, but we are not here for that today. We're here for GT3 action. You're going to be on board with the winner of last race, Jenson Randall. Don't know who's out of the pits first. Who's gonna have a go out of the pits first? That is the question. That is the question. So we do have 2 Lamborghinis. Look at that, beautiful car. Rob Small in the Porsche. He'll be hoping to have a better race today. He's not had a great finish in the last 2 races, but hopefully he can make good on this. But Jenson's out of the pits. As always, Jenson normally the first car out of the pits. That is Sam. He had a decent race last week. You could say a very decent race. Cameron had a good race last week, good finish. We're going to be on board with Cameron. Who's in the Ferrari? I've not seen that Ferrari colour before. That was a different coloured Ferrari. NRG Destructor. I believe this guy is a new guy. I need to get more information on everyone because this is a new guy and could add another dynamic to the race. So let's have a look. So this is Jin Sonidis or something. I hope I've not butchered your name. Probably have. I did it with Funds, who I don't actually think here today. Is Funds here today? I don't think Funds is here. No. That sucks. He's been actually doing pretty well the last couple of races, so hopefully he can be here next time. He's been actually had a good run of form. Max Mulder, quite weird. He won the Snow Derby a couple of weeks before the season even started, but he's kind of looked shaky in recent events. The last 2 rounds he's looked quite off the boil, to be honest, making a lot of mistakes into corners and missing braking zones. So hopefully he can have a bit more of a resurgence today, score some points for Audi Sport. That is Lance around my fellow commentator who commentates in F1. I've taken his place on duties today. I've taken his commentator seat, Lance. I'll keep it nice and warm for you. Don't really worry about that. But I believe that, in my personal opinion, just purely on pure pace, I feel Jensen might get pole here. Just a little bit. I don't think Cameron will come close to where he was last time, because it did take him a little bit of time to warm up. He didn't get the fastest lap in qualifying, but I think he will come good in the race. So today I believe maybe, just maybe, Dion could get a podium. He shows the same pace he showed last week. Sandro also coming off the back of 2 good results. Podium. He'll be wanting to make it a triple threat of podiums. So on board with Jensen Randall now, up Eau Rouge. Very nicely done. Doesn't lose the rear end. Oh, it goes very wide though. Taking a lot of speed into there. Up the back straight. Nice and lovely long back straight in Formula 1 where your overtake is absolutely ruined. Into the S's. Nicely done. Little kink. Love that. This is a very weird braking zone because in F1 if you brake too late you go so deep. Around the corner to the long left-hander next up. We all do love that long left-hander. If Jensen Randall can get it right. Looking nicely done there. Taking that very nicely. I just want to focus on Jensen Randall right now. I'm not going to focus on other drivers purely because Jensen is the points leader at the moment. And I really do want to see how well he will set this lap up. It seems like it's been an okay lap so far. You know, not too bad. Just the start of the lap was a bit sketchy with the whole runoff, but I'm sure he'll do a lot better in his next couple of laps. I don't know who is next though after Jensen. But we are just coming up to the final corner. Comes up to the line and he sets a, what is it? Oh, a 2:20. Not too bad, but definitely room for improvement. Cameron Weston Edwards, a 2:22, so that kind of just underlines what I've said. Cameron is quite far away. Oh God, what's going on? Oh God, sorry viewers, this game is just kicked me out, which is lovely. Thank you very much game for kicking me out. God. There we go, I'm back in, don't worry guys, but you know, I just got kicked out of the game. We do love it when we get kicked out of the game. Oh, technical difficulties. Commentator is Louie Quinlan, man. We're loaded back in. We're loaded back in. So we should be in a minute. Don't worry about that. It takes a little bit of time to load in because this game is so good. It just crashed though. It just literally crashed me out of the game. I don't know why. It's the first time it's ever happened to me. But you know, there we go. We're back. We are back. Sorry guys, we are back. But We actually do have a lot of lovely times. See, Jensen Randall's absolutely obliterating everyone. See you later, mate. That car has gone through something. Jeez, that car has been, looks like it's been punched in the face. Sandra goes second, not too far off, about a second off, nearly. 9 tenths off, which is not too bad at all. Why didn't I drive in SRL? I do drive in SRL. I drive in the F1. I would drive in F1 GT3, but we don't have other commentators, unfortunately, that can do the job as well as me and Lance, I suppose. No, I'm joking. But yeah, it's I think it's just making room for the drivers that have to race and being like unselfish, because I do race in F1, so I was kind of like, you know what, let's just race in, let's commentate over the GT3. You know, I don't really play the game that much anyway. Oh, that is a good save by Sandro. I rate that save, Sandro, do this. That was a good save, mate. I don't know where second has gone. I don't know why it's first, then third. Then it's just ridiculous. Jeremy Pope, our race winner in the first round, is very much beaten up. Where's the Moto GT3 or Ride 4 lead? Well, I don't think we do Moto GP and Ride 4. I just don't think we have the capacity for it, like the other leagues do. You know, it's a work in, I mean, GT3 at the moment is actually a work in progress. This is why I commentate over GT3, because it's actually a work in progress at the moment. You know, this is like the second season, and this is where we wanted to be a bit more bigger and expand. So in a way, we're just trying to expand the league at the moment. Hopefully we get more talent, because new drivers are always fun, you know. New drivers always add something to the mix. You can say of new drivers. He's very far back. You could say that. How about you do the commentator and I do the driving, man? I'm joking. But Reece Marsh, my IRL teammate, down in 11th. Oh, up into 7th now. Very nicely done, Reece Marsh. Well done, mate. I'm very proud of you. Jensen sets a 2020 flat. So just realistically showing everyone that I'm the fastest. See you later, mate. Always my favourite football team. Always Chelsea, mate. Just Chelsea. Chelsea FC. I'm playing Porto in the quarterfinals. But we're not here to talk about football. I'm here to talk about GT3. So as you can see, Jensen Randall crushing the competition. 1.6 away from everyone. But that can really change in a race. You know, we've seen it before. Jensen makes a couple of mistakes and he finished 5th in the last one. So, you know, and that was around an oval track. So, you know, if you can do it around an oval track, oh my, Nick Van Gelder. Oh my goodness, I do not know what that was. My goodness. What was that? That was Killer K. Rob Small absolutely smashing into Nick. I don't know what the stewards will say about that. I don't think anyone was on a lap because qualifying complete, but I mean, that was ridiculous. That was absolutely ridiculous. I mean, look at the cars already. We're not even in the race, and look how damaged they are. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm being invited to another session by Sandro Julius. I'm already in the game. He might be quite far back on the stream, so you probably can't see that I'm back in the game. I'm back in the game now, Sandra, don't worry. Cameron Weston Edwards, 3rd. Dennis, I can see you there, man. Join next week for the Italy. It'll be good to see you there, Dennis. It'll be good to see you. I'm not very happy though, Dennis. I really wanted to race you in Belgium, you know. But I got punted at the back, so that wasn't fun. Unless that isn't the actual Dennis Carenchis, but, you know. I really want to race Dennis in F1 next week. I feel like he's one of my main rivals. I feel like on pure pace I'm faster than most, except for I think maybe Dennis is a little bit quicker than me, and Jensen and Andrea are so much quicker. I don't think the F1 standings are very representative of how quick I am, purely because I mean I've kind of been screwed a little bit, but consistency is key. I mean there's some races that I am in the mid, but most I'm actually pretty decent. But decent qualifying for everyone, to be fair. It was quite representative of how quick everyone is. No, you don't have to have a wheel for SRL, my friend. You have to have whatever you can use. I use a pad compared to everyone else who I think uses a wheel. I think a couple other people use pads, but I'm probably like the quicker drivers out of the pad drivers in the F1 league. I think everyone else uses wheels. I'd love to use a wheel though. Just don't have the setup for it right now though. Alrighty, this is going to be very interesting because this was like last week. Cameron Weston Edwards and Jensen. Cameron's kind of proved me wrong a little bit with his qualifying. I thought he was going to be a bit further back, but then clawed his way up, but he has done pretty decently. Dion Stoll, not letting me down. I thought he was going to be up there, and Sandra Julius also there. And Sam is also there, which was pretty much our battle last week. A couple of weeks ago, in round 2. So this is going to be very interesting. Nick Van Gelder will be wanting to score some points, definitely. If he doesn't score points today, I think he'd be pretty disappointed in himself. Jeremy Pope also very much at the back of the pack. Considering his win, it's not probably where he wants to be. He's right next to Reese Marsh and Max. I do not know what's going on. It has not started yet. Rob Small, you got Rene, then you got the new guy. I can't remember his name. Keep forgetting his name. Jim, Dennis Jim, and then it's Lance. Lance, mate, I'm gonna try and give you the commentator speed. How about that? I do not know what's going on though. Oh, there we go, we're off. There we go. Good. That was a jump. Off we go! Right, Cameron gets an absolute blitz on the start. Right next to Jensen. Jensen's under pressure. Going to the first turn. You have to brake quite hard if you want to get any sort of race there. Dion Starr goes on the outside of Cameron. Absolutely beautiful move. And he will set his sights on Jensen Randall now. Dion can keep it consistent there. No, he'll be potentially getting a podium or a win. Jensen has gone very wide. Seems like Oruge is catching people out massively. Down this straight, Dion pulls out. Cameron just behind. Might make it 3 wide. He makes it 3 wide. Nearly. Dion. Oh, goodness. That was a very, very, very hard move to make. And Cameron, you sneaky bugger, goes right round the outside of Dion Stoll and goes, thank you very much, I'll be taking that position off you, my friend. So your running order is Jensen, Cameron Weston Edwards, Dion, Sandro. Max has made tons of positions from where he was. Sam lost a couple of positions. Rene has made tons of positions, but he does have damage. You can clearly see that on the front of his car. Nick has dropped massively down the order. Well, I say massively, two people, but he probably will pass Rene because he has damage. Jeremy Pope today, look at this. Race winner in round 1, down to 10th. Jensen, oh my god, I've just realised Jensen has dropped. Oh, Jensen Randall, you have made a mistake, my friend, and you have paid the price. But Cameron Weston Edwards just cruising up front at the moment. Seems to be quite confident in that Audi, making moves like such on Dion Starr. Jensen Randall right on the rear of Dion Starr now. He will be wanting to get them positions back because he knows he's the quickest driver. He knows this. But I told you, mistakes, drop back, and then, you know, it's ripped from there, let's be honest. But he's going to have a hard time trying to get past Dion Starr because Dion Starr is not the nicest of drivers when it comes to be passing on GT3. Well, I'm in front of you, you're not as quick as me, guy. Cameron Weston Edwards, it's pulled away a little bit. Around this first corner. It's very key actually to get a really good exit out of that corner, get the traction down. If you can get the traction down, it means you can actually just sprint away from other people. It looks like Cameron's actually got quite a nice bit of traction out of that corner. He absolutely gains a little bit of time there. Sandro still in a nice position there. Jensen doesn't seem to have the pace to keep trying to pass Dion. That McLaren is very quick. Dion doing me proud in my favourite car. Like I like to say every weekend, we do race GT3. McLaren is just such a lovely looking car, isn't it? I don't know how I feel about a Ferrari being in blue. I don't know how I feel about that. I know back in the day they actually went blue because they protested the red colour against the Italian Driving Federation in F1, but like that. But Jensen Randall on the back of Dion Starr, giving him a lot of pressure, goes on his outside. Doing on inside of this corner now. Jensen round the outside, on the inside of the corner, makes the move, lovely jubbly. Takes the move, takes the position away from Dion Starr, which, you know, I know Dion will not be liking that at all. Cameron has had a lot of clean air, to say the least. Dion going a bit wide there, like Jensen Randall. Jensen Randall needs to claw back the time now on Cameron. We'll see how well he does that. Right, Reece Marsh. It's very far back. I'm sad. I like Reece, man. He's my teammate in IRL. I just want to see him do well for once, man. Anyways, back onto the action. Here we see a nice, decent train of cars. Cameron just seems to get a nice bit of traction out of that first corner. It really just gives him the edge going into a Rouge. Jensen Randall seems to be struggling just a little bit to keep it in track limits. Cameron runs into the grass, which is not ideal. But that Audi seems to be very quick in a straight line compared. Well, actually, no, Jensen Randall does have the MPH over that, but he just seems never to be gaining enough time to get right at the back of Cameron. Sergio has actually clawed time back. He was 4.9 seconds back. Now he is 3.9 seconds back. Max is also not too far behind. Having a little bit better running today. Hopefully he can actually good bit of running. So as we see, Jensen Randall is closing the gap. And the long left-hander. Jensen Randall bearing down on Cameron. He will feel that. Dion Starr dropping back a slight tad from Jensen Randall. Doesn't seem really have the pace to keep up with him right now. Jensen Randall is the fastest driver on track. Sandro also very close behind in terms of lap pace. Dion is dropping away from this battle. You will need to pick up the pace to keep up. Unless... Whoa, where's Cameron gone? Cameron's gone wide. Goes straight through the corner, blows the corner massively. Oh, no. Blows the corner massively. But Jenson Randall is up to first. Cameron now a little bit under pressure from Dion Stoll, not massively. Should be fine. Seems to be lapping at a quicker pace of Dion. Jenson Randall will need to keep it consistent now. Desperately. Sandro seems to be doing very well in the Acura though. Still keeping with this pack. Max just in the background. I mean, compared to the other drivers, I mean, this group is quite far ahead. Only a couple laps have gone, and realistically, the drivers are just absolutely flying. It's been quite impressive from them all so far. Just on lap 4, checking that. Jenson has made a mistake again. He's made another mistake, and it cost him massively. He's dropped down to 4th, and Max is now on him, and that is not ideal in one way or another for Jenson Randall. And that knocks him down to 4th, and Dion Stoll will be thank you very much, and Cameron's very happy about that, because it seems to be that Cameron has just been very consistent, except for blowing the corner once. But apart from that, it's not a mistake that Jenson has made, like Gicking going around, because going around is a lot worse than blowing a corner, as we know. But Cameron leads from Dion, from Sandro to Jenson, who seems to be struggling to keep in track limits and keep the car on track at the moment. It seems like Jenson Randall gets in front and just goes, you know what, I want to give myself even more of a challenge, so I'm just going to drop it on the curbs. We love you really, Jenson. But what's it called? As we see, this camera angle is awful. But Dion Stoll and Sandro is very, very much behind this pack now. He's caught up nicely to get back into the podium positions, which, if he does finish in this place that he sits in now, this is back-to-back-to-back podiums, which is very impressive and is the consistency you need to win championships. And I feel like that's what Sandro has right now. He has the mentality of, I want to win this championship. Jenson Randall, you're not consistent enough to win this championship, and you don't deserve to win it. That's the mentality of Sandro. He says, I'm the best driver and I want to win this. He's not won a race yet, but has been the most consistent of every driver, which is more key than winning races, and winning them on and off, because you can win a race, and if you finish the last 2 races in 10th, that's not very good, is it? Especially if your rivals are doing what Sandro's doing and coming on the podium every other week. Dion has had a podium so far, which he will be pleased with, but he won another podium today. Cameron also has had a podium this season, but will also want to win this race. They will all think they'll have a chance of winning this race, because they all do seem quite similar on pace. Jenson Randall, obviously the quickest, but just hasn't really been able to keep it on track. I mean, it's quite massive in a GT3 season to keep it on track, because you think about it, there is a lot of time, especially around here. You say Spa, Franco Champs for 2.4 hours, right? You've really put that in perspective. You have a lot of time on track to get up and down, up and down, up and down, you know. But if you do make many mistakes, then you still have to pit, obviously. But if you make many mistakes, in the end, you just get absolutely screwed, because you have to drive really hard to get back up to those positions. And if you drive hard and then make another mistake, it's over. You're not going to catch up. Jensen makes a lot of time up in that braking zone. That was insane. It's right on the back of Sandro now. Sandro will definitely be feeling it. Goes on to... he doesn't go onto the inside line to block Jensen's move. Jensen's thinking about it, doesn't go for the move. He will be right behind Sandro on this straight though, which is very dangerous. You can see Sandro's lost a little bit of time to the cars in front, purely because of the pressure from Jensen Randall. Jensen Randall takes it pretty nicely, I suppose, trying to get as much runoff as he can out of that corner, but you know, it's a bit of a worse run into the out of the corner. You can see Max in the background actually just biding his time, waiting for the cars in front to make mistakes. He's doing pretty well so far. From what I can see, he hasn't really made any mistakes. Obviously I've not really focused on him heavily, but he has done pretty well so far. Gee, this train is very close to each other now, which is very good for us, because it gets very boring if there's no battles on track. But if Jensen keeps spinning, you know there's going to be battles on track, because he's very quick, and he will be trying to battle straight back up to the first place position. But at the moment, Sandro is giving him a little bit of a hard time and giving him a moving chicane. Jensen goes down the inside, round the outside now. That is an absolutely beautiful move. That should be right in the highlights reel. Overtakes Sandro Dulius with a lot of skill. As you can see, look at Jensen Randall's time. What a 2:21.9. I just want to reassure you guys that, remind you guys that some people set that time in qualifying. You know, like, this is how quick Jensen Randall is. Some people set a 21.9 or over in qualifying, and Jensen Randall's gone, ha, yeah, I can do that in an actual race. I don't even have the rich mix mode or anything, you know, I don't have what I have in qualifying, but you know what, boom, qualifying. Oh, Dion loses the rear, and Jensen's like, yep, I'm on your inside now, mate, thank you very much, I'm going to take that position right off you. And he goes down the inside. Dion has no way to defend that, no way at all. He's already compromised out of that corner. So your order now is Cameron Weston Edwards, which has not pulled away from the pack at all, and Jensen Randall will be pulling him in and being, mate, give me my first position back because you don't deserve it. So we'll see what happens here, but Dion seems to be very quick in the straight. Will be applying pressure to Jensen Randall. This is what I felt like Jensen when Dion was behind me and I had rubbish tyres compared to him, and had no ERS, and I was fighting against the two Ferraris in F1. They were working together, I was screwed. But we have Jensen Randall in the back of Cameron now. Heavy braking zone. Jensen's very close, really getting racy behind Cameron Weston Edwards. It does seem like Jensen does have the pace over these drivers, if I'm honest with you. It does seem like he's a bit more on the ball in terms of pace. He's going to try and make the same move on Cameron, isn't he? That he did to Sandro Dulius. Does he try it? No, he doesn't have the run on Cameron to do it. Sandro seems to be dropping off just a tad. Try and reel everyone in. Max isn't too far away from this battle now. If the squabbling keeps happening, he might actually gain time. Here we go. Jensen is 3 tenths behind Cameron. Now 2. And there's a lot of straight to go around. I feel like this might end up in a crash if the drivers do not be smart about the braking point. Man, that is a very nicely executed move by Jensen, and he takes first place once again. As you can see, Jensen is a really quick driver, but if he just keeps making mistakes, he's not going to finish very highly. And this is what happened when we had the first round of GT3. Not Cameron. Jensen made many mistakes and fell back, and the drivers in front didn't make any mistakes, and they were just quick. So yeah, just shows you a lot, really. You make a mistake, you know, you're gonna pay for it. But wow, Cameron has an absolute blitz of a run out of that Rouge, out of El Rouge, and just seems to be like a rocket ship right now. Doesn't seem to have enough pace though to get past Jensen. Jensen needs to keep it consistent now. That is the only thing he needs to worry about. It's keeping it consistent and on track. It's just a fundamental for him right now, because a lot of the times I've never seen Jensen really be overtake, like, or even pure pace. I've only really seen him be around, and because of driver error, he's been off the track, and that's when people overtake him. He doesn't really get overtaken on track very much. But as it stands, my prediction is actually right, because I have said Jensen, Cameron and Dion, which I'm happy about. Don't let me down like Nick Van Gelder, because I predicted him to do really well, and well, look where Nick is right now. Well, I didn't predict him in this race, but in the first race I predicted him to do really well, and he's not done very well, to say the least. I mean, Reece Marsh is in front of him, and you know, he's not been, I mean, he's, oh god, Reece, your internet connection, man, it's not amazing. Kamikaze, Lance, I don't know what's happened to him, but it looks like he's pretty much done for the day, to be honest. Rene Van der Staap's in the pits. Looks like they've had a crash or some sort. Really bad crash. But we're not interested in that, because we're interested in the racing up front, which has been very close so far over these couple of laps. These cars are very close to each other, and they have been since the start of the race. Very close to each other, but can't make a move. This is how it's kind of been so far. I mean, the only time anyone makes a move is when someone's spun out or making a mistake, or they've had a bad run out of a corner, you know. It's more mistakes in GT3 than overtakes in GT3. This is something that I've kind of discovered over the couple of rounds of GT3 racing, is a lot of the time the mistakes can cost someone massively, and at the end of the day, like, you aren't going to win a race if you're going to keep going off track. So Jensen doing very well at the moment. Gap to everyone else. He's pretty much put his foot down now and gone, do you know what, let's get our head down and just win this race. Seems like the Mercedes dominance is coming through again. Oh god, it's bringing back, we're coming to GT3 now, not just F1, but more interested in this battle just behind the two drivers. Sandra's very close behind Cameron, Dion right now. Dion seems to be struggling just a little bit. good drive out of that corner from Cameron. It seems to be one of his strong points at the moment. He gets a really nice drive out of that first corner compared to other cars. But Jensen now is flexing the muscles, and he set a quicker time than most people have done in qualifying. I'm pretty sure he set the quickest time, and he's not even in qualifying. So that kind of gives you a representative of how quick Jensen actually is compared to the drivers. And if he doesn't finish first, it's quite a disappointment to him, because he is the quickest driver on outright pace. But it is okay, because we do have the battles between these guys, and they are very close to each other, which is very nice indeed. Sorry, I went a bit quiet there, folks. The parents came in the room. But Sandro Julius is right on the back of Dion Stahl now. Seems like he's been making up quite a bit of time on Dion. Seems like Cameron is stuck in a bit of a pace. Like he's got the pace, but not enough to pull away from the... Oh my goodness, Dion! What a dive bomb! You beauty. You absolute beauty, mate. I respect that move. You absolute beauty. That was amazing. Doing that McLaren proud. And now Sandro is on the inside of Cameron. Oh no. Oh, he got a bit on the grass there. But oh, Dion's gone deep and ruined the move that he made earlier. Oh, Dion. You got a bit too eager, my friend. But it's okay. Because if you do have the pace to catch up to Cameron, you will pass him. Dion, man, is rapid in a straight line. He's really quick. That McLaren is really, really quick. Gets stuck with the. He gets a bit stuck with the curb there, though. Gotta reduce the speed. I don't think Sandro will make a move into this corner. Not the nicest place to make a move. Although I did make a move in F1. That was pretty nice on Nick Van Gelder. I haven't really checked up on the back of the pack in quite a long time. Max just seems to be in the same deficit he was a couple of laps ago. Not losing time, but not gaining time. Jeremy Pope, he's come quite good actually in the recent race. He's actually worked his way up past Sam. Ferrari of Jim, he's doing pretty well. He's got a points paying position. Reece Marsh, yeah, he's nowhere near this race. Neither's Rene, nor Vic Van Gelder. Kamikaze Fox is having a holiday, and Rob Small is just where we've always seen him in this season, back in the pack. And I will be surprised if he doesn't retire from this race, because he has from the last couple, well, the last one. Considering he's so far back, and there's pretty much no way of him catching everyone else. Doesn't seem to be lapping at everyone else's pace, and seems to be all. It seems to be quite a. He's just here for the fun of it sort of person. Doesn't really seem to care about the racing too much. Just getting around the track and actually finishing would be an accomplishment for him. Look at this, Dion Stoll on the back of Cameron. Got a lot of speed, goes alongside, brakes hard on the inside, Cameron on the outside, and that is very good racing from them too. Very respectful, very nice. But that has compromised Dion a little bit going into this corner because Sandro has a little run on him. All this squabbling is very good for Max, who is just a little bit behind. Oh, Cameron goes a little bit onto the dirt there. Cameron doesn't have enough pace to pull away. This is what I found out. He doesn't have enough pace to pull away from these two, but he's been more consistent, so he stayed up front, which is in this scene very important. Sandro is so close to Dion right now, and you best believe he wants that podium position. I know Sandro Dulius, and he wants that position, man. I know how eager he is to do well. He likes like every racing thing in the world. Don't blame him though, racing is amazing. Dion hits the curb a little bit there. Gets a decent run out of that final corner though. Does extend the gap to Sandro just a tad. Seems to be getting a quite nice drive out of that McLaren. See if he gets a nice drive out of this first corner though. Seems to get very, very good drive out of that first corner exit. That was very nice. I don't know if you saw the delta, but he just pulled 2 tenths away, nearly 3 tenths away from Sandro just on that drive for that first exit corner. Absolutely amazing. So, Dion goes really wide. That was not ideal from Dion. Sandro is right on the back of him now. Just doesn't seem to have enough pace though to just get past him. Dion will make a mistake, but just makes up for it quite a lot. Max is actually creeping in the background. He's actually gained time on Sandro now. No doubt because of this battle, and Sandro makes a lovely move there. I just caught that in the background. He makes a lovely move on Dion, but Dion just has that straight line speed. I mean, just look at that McLaren on that Acura. It's just like, yeah, bro, your car's nothing compared to mine. And Dion is like, he would probably try and make the same move on. Yeah, absolutely. No, Sandro didn't fall for the move, didn't go too deep, but now Dion is right on the rear of his car, and we'll get a good run on Sandro. They are really close to, even though they're battling, they are really, really close to Cameron, and I think that's quite telling of battles and squabbling in racing. If you battle enough, you can bring so many more people back into the race. Max is getting brought back into this race now. He's gaining time on this. Just the battling seems to really bring bring out, like, well, let's be honest, it brings people back into the fray, to be honest. Cameron just doesn't seem to have the pace to pull away from any. I mean, Jensen, he's fucking, oh god, just swore, but god, Jensen seems to be doing really, really well. I don't want to jinx him. I'll touch wood for you, Jensen. How about that? Yep. But you know, I think Jensen, he's kind of got his pace wrapped up and consistency at the moment. At the moment, I don't want to speak too soon because sometimes Jensen can make a terrible mistake, but he's lapping very quickly compared to every other driver on track. I don't see anyone else setting 2:21s. And normally that would be Dion or Sandro setting them times, or even Cameron setting those times, but they don't seem to really have the pace that that Jensen has. But they have enough pace to stay with each other, which is the most important thing, because the podium positions are at stake here. Cameron Weston Edwards and Sandro battling it out now for second. Dion has kind of fell away a little bit. I feel like he does have the pace to get back into this battle. Just the battle he had with Sandro a minute ago just wasn't ideal for him and kind of threw him off. But Sandro is right on the back of Cameron. Seemed to lose a bit of time on that straight there because he actually braked into the fast left-hander. Cameron gets absolutely brilliant traction out of that corner. Protects him a little bit from the slipstream that Sandro is able to get on him. I feel like the best case scenario for Dion is not to overtake Sandro, but to leech off Sandro and try and overtake Cameron, because he's been a pain at the moment. But Cameron will actually get a tow, because I feel like it's Nick Van Gelder just punching a hole for him. Yeah, just punching a hole. Teammates, there you go. That just shows you everything, doesn't it? Oh god, that was very defensive, and Dion had to take a lot of evasive action. Oh god. But the worst thing here is Nick Van Gelder is the teammate of Cameron. If Cameron gets held up by Nick, I think he'll probably be having words for starters. But if they play this right, because Nick can't actually let anyone through at the moment, because he's actually probably going to go a bit quicker than most because he's got new tyres on. So he could let Cameron through and just hold up Sandro and Dion. Obviously we'll see what happens. Kamikaze Fox, but yeah, it's we'll see what happens here. Be quite interesting. It doesn't seem like this is going to be very nice though for Cameron, because the dirty air is not ideal. Seems like Dion will need to work his way back up again. It's just kind of fell off Sandro a bit this last couple of laps. I think going on the grass didn't really help him out. Definitely would have really screwed his tyres. Good Dion. The Dion Sandro, look at that toe that he's getting on this straight. And he is very, very close. And he's going to make... No, he's not. But I feel like Cameron fell for that. Has gone really deep into the first corner. Really, really deep. And now it's very compromised out of that last corner. Sandro doesn't... Oh, goes a little bit alongside, but just doesn't really have the pace in that car to get. But he's right behind Cameron now. He does have a bit more of a closer gap to him, and he has a lot of slipstream from the back of that car. So it seemed like this might... Oh, he's lost so much time in that El Rouge section that Cameron is just protected yet again, and that is kind of screwed Sandro's attempts at even trying to get past. on this lap. Nick Van Gelder still in front. As you can see, Nick does have the pace, because he's not losing. Oh, goodness, what has happened to Sandro? You just get a slight twitch in the car there and just loses it and goes off track. I feel like that might have just been a bit of a mistake from Sandro there. A little bit of a twitch on the wheel, couldn't correct the understeer, or the oversteer, and yeah, just quite a bad mistake from Sandro there. Could have ended really badly for him, could have ended up in the barriers. It seems to be a bit twitchy at the moment. Really wants to get past Cameron. Cameron seems to be getting the pace down every other lap. Seems to be going quicker quite a couple bit more than for the last couple of laps that he's had. It's been a lot quicker, purely because I feel like he's been under pressure, and the pressure's kind of made him go a little bit quicker. But as you see, Dion still not caught up, and I think he's going into the clutches of Max. Dion just seems to not have recovered very well. Not got back on the pace since that mistake on the straight line. Or maybe just a really defensive move by Sandro that threw him off, but that was nice. As you can see, Nick's letting Cameron past, and looks like he's letting Sandro pass as well. So yeah, he had to let them pass eventually. You know, he had to give them the room, but that may have compromised Cameron just a little bit, because he seems to be losing quite a bit of time to Sandro now. Sandro gets this right, he will have a good chance to get a run off. Nick is on the outside of Sandro now. I don't think he will go for the move, because he's a lap car and it's just a bit stupid if he does go for the move. No, yeah, granted he can unlap himself, but to be honest, it would just be a bit of a stupid move. He just doesn't seem to have not as much pace as Sandro and Cameron and Dion, you know, so it'd be a bit dumb to just not let him through. But Jensen is just flying away, dominance at the moment. If he doesn't make a mistake, he probably will win this race by at least 40 seconds, I believe. You know, he doesn't even have to go flat out. You know, his flat out is like a 21-1, 3, 4. You know, he's going 22-5, and he'd still be in front of everyone else. So to be honest, Jensen was doing really well. So there's a big cluster of cars here. I've not seen a cluster of cars like this in a long time, since the start of the race. Kamikaze Fox seeming to get very racy with the front drivers. Doesn't get in the way too much though. Oof, that was very close from Dion. Kamikaze Fox blocking Dion now. He will not be very happy about that. Dion will not be very happy about that. He's probably sitting there racing right now, just saying, Kamikaze, get the hell out of the way, man. I'm quicker than you, I'm in front of you, you're just blocking me and it's annoying. Cameron's done very well so far though. As you can see, representative of the last times, you can see that the drivers actually did get held up just a little bit by the traffic. Oh wow, what is that in the background? Oh my goodness, I think Max has just been taken out by Kamikaze Fox. And Kamikaze Fox, I think Max will be pretty, in nice terms, pretty annoyed that has just happened, because Max isn't even racing Lance, and Lance has just kind of ruined his chances of going even for a podium, or at least even decent points. And he's got damage now, and he probably needs to pit to repair that damage. He hasn't even got... look at that. He doesn't even have a rear wing anymore. That is really detrimental to Max. And look, he just loses the rear. He just doesn't have the rear downforce in anymore. The car just doesn't have the rear wing. I really don't think that was Max's fault. Not fair. But life is not fair, so... deal with it. Anyways, back to the racing. See, Jeremy Pope has actually worked his way up into a nice little position now of 5th. Actually had a really bad start, didn't qualify very well, so in a way he's done pretty well so far. Cameron Weston Edwards also doing quite well right now. Cameron Weston Edwards is holding on pretty well at the moment. Max is in the pits. He won't need to pit again, I don't think, after that. But he will be down in the position. Sandro getting really close to Cameron now. He's been really close these past couple of laps. You know, and it's quite showing. Andrew's really close. Dion is not too far behind. Jeremy Pope isn't too far behind. He's on 10. And he looks like he's gaining time on Dion actually. Who's the car behind? It's Nick, isn't it? Yeah, I was about to say I thought Dion was getting caught up, but yeah, no, that doesn't look like it's happening. Dion is closing because of this battle. Sandro is just behind Cameron, but Cameron just always seems to get a better run out of Eau Rouge than Sandro at the moment. He just seems to have a lot more pace coming out of there, but if he gets a good run, he may be able to get on the back of Cameron. Gets a very nice run this time. Goes down the back straight. Is really close to Cameron. Cameron closes the door on the inside. Very good defending there. And Sandro on the inside. Cameron, is he going to defend the move? Defends the move very nicely. He's catching back up because of this. And oh my goodness, no, not Sandro Dulius. Dion Stoll. Is that Dion Stoll? No. Who was that? Who was that in the background? Who spun around? I think that was Nick. God, I thought that was Sandro. I was just about to go, oh my goodness. No, that was not Sandro. That was Nick Van Gelder. Kamikaze Fox has just left the session. God, Sandro, you just gave me a heart attack. I thought that was you, man. But, see, Dion's caught up a little bit to these two again. Pretty decent from Dion so far, still keeping up. Purely because of this battle, though, between these two. It's been so aggressive. They have been defending each other and attacking each other quite a bit. Been very impressed with the racing so far. Jensen is really far ahead. He's like 20 seconds ahead. It's ridiculous. But as you see, Sandro's kind of dropped off a little bit off camera. Seems to be a pattern that goes on all the time, where the drivers get really close to each other, and then they get defended like Sandro did on the straight, and then they lose tons of time. It's exactly what happened to Dion, and it's exactly what happened to Sandro. And in a way, it's quite annoying because of course you don't want to see that because you want to see the battles. But at the end of the day, that is what it is. That is what it is. Cameron Weston Edwards still cruising. He's been doing really well. I'm really impressed with Cameron so far. He's been very consistent. Even under pressure, he's been really doing well. So Cameron, if he gets a good run out of here again, he probably will just be the exact same before. Yeah, it's a pretty decent run. I think that Sandro's close enough to challenge him again. It just seems to be like a telling story that, you know, if you're not close enough, you're not really going to make a move. And Sandro just seems to not be close enough every time. And when he has, Cameron knows what to do to defend, especially into that left-right. Oh, mate, that was a great move by Sandro. Right down the inside. But then again, Cameron Weston-Edwards gets a nice little run out of that final corner. You definitely want to get that position back off Sandro. Sandro goes very slow into that corner. Very conservative. But seems to have done the trick. Because he has pulled a little bit away from Mr. Cameron Weston-Edwards, which is exactly what he will want. So that is second place for Sandro and third place for Cameron Weston-Edwards. Now Dion is only a little bit behind and needs to just pick up the pace a little bit, just a little bit, catch up to this battle again. Nick is so far behind, he's going to get lapped again. Nick, go home, man. Go home. Stop racing. You're just in the way now. Oh, goodness. Jensen, I think he's not really pushing as hard as he needs to. He's just doing what he's got to do to keep on track, you know. Doesn't really need to push. He's got a 21-second lead in front of everyone. His nearest competitor is Sandro, though. Sandro is pretty close to him in the standings, only 1 point away. Jensen will be wanting him to make a mistake, purely because, you know, so Sandro seems to be putting a gap to Cameron now. Like I keep saying, is when, you know, someone makes a move, they tend to drop back a little bit after the move and then claw back, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen with Cameron. You never know though. Dion might catch up to Cameron, make his life a little bit harder. Cameron going really wide. I would just say a little bit, that was a bit cheating. Yeah, I don't like it when drivers do that. They run wide and then they go really quick on the outrun, and then you actually gain time and you kind of just don't lose the time that you should deserve for making a mistake. I think that's a little bit of a cheating thing to do from Cameron, but you know, I don't know, that's just how the game works. I don't know how penalties are in this game or anything, but penalties don't seem to really get given out as harshly as they do in F1. F1 you get penalties like the game's like, oh yeah, there you go, penalty for just even using the runoff that you're meant to use. It's a bit annoying, but Cameron is a little bit closer, has gained a little bit of time. Oh god, these deltas are very annoying. Guy was 6 tenths and now it's 1 second. Dion is close to Cameron on the delta and then drops so close back. Braking zones are just not fun. They just make the delta go crazy. Sam, he's in no man's land right now. He's just racing his race. He's just doing what he needs to do. He's like a minute in front of Max pretty much. He doesn't really need to push. Oh, he does, to be fair, but not massively. Jeremy Pope, he doesn't seem to be catching the pack in front, but fifth will do him pretty nicely. Cameron closer. He's a little bit closer, just a little bit. Looks like he's gained a little bit of time. Just a little bit. I've been quite quiet, but there's not really much to commentate on. It's kind of just a train of drivers. And to be fair, I'm quite tired today. It's been a bit of a long week. I'm very tired. And my eyes hurt. Oh god. It doesn't seem like the gap is closing very much between drivers. I believe that's Nick Van Gelder behind them. There it is. The gap is still the same between most drivers. They seem to just kind of dipping in and out of each other's, well, diving range, to be fair. It doesn't seem to really be that well, you could say it doesn't really seem to be that competitive at the moment, which is obviously not ideal. Hopefully everyone just can spice up a little bit. We can get these drivers to be a little bit closer to each other, because they don't really seem to, they just seem to be quick enough where they are not catching each other, but they're quick enough just to pull away just a little bit. Lassander's pulling away from Cameron, and Dion's pulling away from the car behind him, and then obviously Cameron just seems to get a better exit and everything else, you know. It just seems to be like that a lot of the time, so it's pretty much a stalemate at the moment. Which is obviously not ideal for us, and obviously the battle for first is pretty much out of the window. Jensen's 25 seconds ahead of everyone, so it's a bit of a just a bit of a sticky one, you know, just a little bit, but it is what it is. Oh no, no, no! Come on, Dion! Come on, Dion! Push, push! I want a battle! I want a battle! I want a battle! Oh, it's just everyone's so far away from each other, and Dion is really close to Cameron, so if he catches him, we can commentate on some more stuff. Make life a lot happier. Come on, Dion! Push! Do be proud of that McLaren, man. My favourite cars. I might be a bit biased, because McLaren is my favourite car, but I promise you if Cameron was in the McLaren, I'd be cheering on Cameron as well as that too. Dion, come on, dude. Just getting a little bit closer, but Nick behind him is keeping up. This is what I hate about Nick Van Yoda, right? He has the pace, right? I feel like he has the pace, he has the consistency if he is in the battle, but you know, he just ruins the race from the start, and now he's like 6 minutes behind, and it's just rubbish because we know Nick's good at driving. It's just never there. He's just always in like magical land, far, far away from it. You know, it's quite annoying in a way. Because it'd be like, great to see him in the battle for just at least fighting or help. It's quite frustrating. Cameron seems to be getting pulled away from by your boy Sandro Delius, league owner. He is pulling away quite nicely. Got to really give Sandro credit in that Acura, because he has been very consistent this season, and consistency pays off in the end. All he really needs to do is finish consistently in the podiums positions, or even get a win, and he's pressuring Jensen. Because Jensen, don't get me wrong, Jensen didn't have a good result first time out. So in a way, it's actually really good for Sandro. I believe you get 10 points for a win here, so Jensen will be pushing the advantage even more. 10 points for a win. There it is, I believe, and it's 8 points for a second, maybe. But yeah, Jensen he needs to just keep finishing first. I mean, I really think putting a number on your result is quite dumb, because if you need to like win a race, if you just keep winning races, which is a lot harder than just saying it. If you just win races, you'll win the championship, and that's how easy it is. But then you say that, and it's not easy, because you need to be consistent. Where in that first race, Jensen proved it. He just kind of was a bit rusty on the game and rusty at driving, and he just kind of made loads of mistakes. And at the end of the day, you just get screwed over if you make mistakes. That's just the reality of things. So he's kind of ironed out the mistakes now, and I feel like he's doing really well. And well, of course he's doing really well. Just look at him; he's absolutely beasting and feasting up top. But he doesn't seem to really be pushing as such as he was before. you know, Sandro is actually catching up to him. He's actually closed the gap a little bit onto Jensen. As we can see in the background, that is Dion Stoll behind him. He's gonna go for the inside. Gives a little bit of a nudge to Cameron. Cameron gives him a little bit of a budge, like, yeah, have some of that back, mate, because you just pushed me off the track. And that was alright driving in my eyes. I think Cameron did get pushed off track a little bit there, just gave him a little bit back, so it was good defending from Cameron. Just a little bit of a shoulder to shoulder going on there, but I'm sure the boys are not too frustrated with that. That's pretty decent driving from them, I'd say. Yeah, no, Sandro is actually really pulling in Jensen now. I think Jensen will definitely need to pull it up a gear. I think he's kind of relaxing because he does have the leverage on these drivers at the moment, but he would definitely just need to push, because I mean, this delta is crazy. How's it gone up like a second that quickly, you know? Ridiculous. I think the delta is broken. I don't understand this game. Look at that. What is this game doing? Oh god, the delta is so broken. But you know, I think Sandro is on a charge. I think he just needed to get past Cameron, because Cameron was just not as quick as what Sandro can be. You know, Sandro was probably just getting blocked quite a bit by Cameron, you know, in the dirty air and the corners and everything else. Not fun. Not fun. But Jensen will need to pit soon. He does have 14.6 gallons of fuel, which is not ideal. So he will need to pit soon. It's just nice to watch Jensen drive sometimes, because you just appreciate how quick the guy actually is, and how consistent he can actually be sometimes. The dominance is just being shown in the race, you know, and it's not like you get to see someone who's quite quick. You know, it's a bit like F1. You know, it's quite frustrating to drive against people like Andrea and Jensen, but you know, you feel a sense of achievement when you do finish ahead of them. Because you know they're quick, which is very, very rare. But when you do, you're like, wow, I just beat Jensen, or I just beat Andrea, or you know. And I can definitely speak for the other drivers. It's very annoying when you do have quick drivers like that, because you know you do want to go for the wins and you do want to go for like podiums, but when you have someone like Andrea and Jensen filling up 1-2 and you just have to battle for the third place, you know, it's quite frustrating. You know, so when you can catch them out on strategy, which is quite rare. But I did it at France, so if you can catch them out on strategy, you know, that's very much ideal. But you know, I think it's just you got to appreciate the speed that these guys actually have, because you know, it's not like every day you get to see a quick driver. But Sandro is doing really well. He's actually cutting the gap to Jensen. I don't think Jensen is racing at the fastest he can race at right now. Dion and Cameron are still very close to each other, so this battle is still a thing. Oh my goodness, Cameron absolutely overshoots that corner. He will need to give the position back to Dion, surely. That was stupid from Cameron, to say the least. These aren't F1 cars, these are GT3 cars, and at the end of the day, that's not going to work. A little less speed, yeah, maybe, but that just isn't going to work. We'll just stay on board with this battle. Cameron is closing on Dion very quickly. Dion is weaving and making Cameron's life absolute pain. Cameron goes for the switcheroo. Oh, very close. We're not close enough. So Cameron, gives Dion a nice little nudge, telling him he's there. That was not ideal. Cameron is very close to Dion. He's getting very, very racy, Cameron Weston Edwards, which is not nice. I know what it feels like to have Cameron behind you or in front of you. He defends really hard and attacks really hard. He's like me. He goes for any gap that is there because he wants to win. He wants to be within people, and he makes that move on the inside very nicely and takes the position away from Dion. But Dion is on the outside, just side by side, and Dion overtakes Cameron. Absolute beautiful move there. Nice little overtake, a little bit of a scrap, overtake, nice. Cameron is still there. He gets a nice break compared to Dion there. He might be able to get a run out of Dion into this final corner. Gets lovely, puts the power down. Dion is a little bit compromised here because Cameron is closer, so he will have a decent run if he gets the power down like he has been doing. Gets the power down quite nicely, although Dion seems to get the power down just a little better than what Cameron has. He's not too far behind. I don't know if he's close enough to make a move though. I think he might just be too far away. I can't see much, which is not ideal. Not close enough. Nick Bagnola seems to want to get involved with this battle, but he's so far behind, it's not like it really matters whether he overtakes someone or not. All this squabbling between these two has given Sandro a 10-second gap. Can you believe that? How many laps have we had since then to past Cameron? Absolutely beautiful driving by Sandro. I respect that very much. He's been doing a great job recently in GT racing. Appreciate the effort from him. It's been really good. Well, Cameron's just a little bit further behind than he was. Just dropped back a little bit off Dion, but this straight does give a lot of... Oh, and Dion's dropped it out of the corner. Oh, Dion, man. Oh, that is so annoying for Dion Starr, and he'll have to make up the time and really get back into this race now. And he's lost near on 8 seconds on Cameron, near 9 seconds now, and Jensen's in the pits. Oh my goodness, I just did it again. Why have I done this? So Jensen was in the pits. That was the last information I had. Oh, I don't know why I keep doing that. It's like I keep trying to switch between the thing and I accidentally slip my finger and it just... Oh god. Well, as you can see, that Jensen was in the pits. Sandro kept going. So Right, we're back. We're back. As you can see, Jensen is 4th. He's made his pit stop though, which the others haven't done yet. Cameron's made his pit stop. So, at the moment, Jensen is net P1. Sandro is net P2. Cameron is net P3, and Dion is net P4. But Fly High seems to be catching. I mean, Dion's just had a bit of a scrappy race today. Couple mistakes here and there, just needs to iron them out. So Sandro is into the pits. It's going to be interesting to see if he's done enough to keep Jensen out of range. We got Jensen. Let's Fly High. Dion's in the pits now. Jensen has got to get a move on. Seems like the refueling is done for Sandro. 127 gallons into the tank. Jensen is now coming down the back straight. Sandro needs to get out of the pits now. I don't know what is taking so long, because he does have a lot of fuel in that car now. Jensen's coming around the turn. Sandro is just coming out of the pits. So he will have a lot of work to do. I don't know why the pits are so long here. That's the worst thing about GT racing. I just hate how long the pit stop takes. It's so long. But Cameron overtakes Dion. Sam is now in the pits. Dion, interestingly, only just gets out just behind Cameron, to be fair. He's actually not lost that much time. That is crazy. I don't know what happened to Cameron, but Dion has not lost that. I remember Dion was like 8 seconds behind Cameron. I don't know what's happened to Cameron, but Cameron has lost tons of time to Dion. And Dion is now back into this again. So, don't get me wrong, it's not ideal for Cameron, but it's ideal for us watching. So, I will take this very much. It was very interesting to see how Dion actually has gained quite a bit of time on Cameron. He's made his pit stop now. Cameron, I think Dion underfueled his car a little bit. You don't need that much fuel in the car, to be fair. It'll be quite interesting to see where Jeremy Pope comes out. So, been overtaken by Sandro. Cameron coming down the back straight with Dion. Not back straight, the first straight. actually overtaken Fly High now. I assume he's going to get going in a minute. Yep. We'll stay on board with Cameron Weston Edwards because he is in the last podium position, but Dion is behind him just by a second. So, it looks like Cameron's kind of extending the gap to Dion right now. Dion doesn't really have an answer for this right now. The pace advantage for Dion is not really there right now. Max, credit to Max, he's kept racing even though he had that incident with Kamikaze Fox. And he's kept going. It was impressive. Jeremy Pope is on his own. He's very far away from Dion right now. But the focus is on the top four, even though Jensen is quite far ahead. Jensen is doing really well. Tanjo is putting under pressure though. Dion seems to not really have an answer for Cameron's pace though at the moment. Oh my goodness, Cameron has just made a mistake. Oh, that was not great, Cameron. That gives Dion an opportunity to catch up. Max is absolutely beaming around that corner. Meow. Well, I don't think his lights are on though, so we can't see him. He's put them on now. Rene is in the last point scoring position. I'd be happy with at least scoring a point, considering the way his season has actually gone so far. Sam 7th, pretty decent, not too bad. Max is 6th. Jeremy Pope, he'll be alright with 5th. Not too bad. Dion, yeah, he just keeps losing time to Cameron. It just doesn't seem really have an answer for his pace at the moment. So we've got an hour left of this race. I think I need an energy drink because I'm really tired. Oh goodness! But yeah, no, it seems like Cameron is lapping quicker than what Dion is lapping, which is obviously not ideal at all. You know, you don't really want that when it comes to lapping you know, slower than your rival, you just get a bit disconfident, and you start trying to over push. I found that with a lot of things. You start trying to push too much, you end up making more mistakes. And it costs you more, you know. Bit out of shape there, Cameron gets. It's a little bit out of shape. Just a little bit. Cameron seems to extend the gap quite a bit during a stint of a lap though. Just Dion just doesn't seem really to have the pace to keep up, which is obviously not ideal. Not what he wants. He'll be hoping that he makes a mistake. Jensen seems to be lapping a lot quicker now because he kind of responded to Sandro, and it's like, no, you ain't catching me now, mate. Screw you. Dion is now 3.4 seconds away from Cameron, so you can clearly see Dion is dropping a lot, like a lot. Doesn't really seem to have the pace to even catch Cameron right now, which is obviously not ideal. But I think he'll be happy with fourth, even though he started third, but Cameron just seems to have a bit more of an edge over him right now, and seems to be getting a lot quicker as the race goes on. Yeah, it just seems like Cameron just has the pace right now. You know, he's just setting the timings alike compared to Dion. Dion just keeps making mistakes and doesn't seem as quick out on the track. So I think, yeah, see, look, that's another mistake from Dion style. It just seems to be a bit out of sync right now. You know, ever since the mistakes he's been making, it just seems to be really out of sync. It's not ideal for him at all. At the end of the day, you really need to keep it consistent. And it seems like he's not really been able to do that recently. But it is what it is. And he's not in a bad finishing position. He wouldn't be too sad with what he finishes in right now. But obviously the podium is a lot more appealing than a fourth place finish. But at the end of the day, all the points count, you know. I think this championship is a little bit more open than usual, purely because, well, it's just important for drivers to keep consistent and, you know, keep going. And at the end of the day, it doesn't seem like that. you know, anyone else is doing it as well as Dion, not Dion, Sandro and Jensen. So, as you can see, the gap just keeps extending, and Cameron's doing really well right now. Jensen's still the fastest guy on track though. Oh god. This is when the race gets a bit slow, when there's no battles really going on, and you have to listen to me, you know, talking for near on an hour, and you know, it's very draining. Of course, it's tiring, and you know, obviously, it's quite annoying that we don't get any racing for the past couple. But at the end of the day, it's all good because, well, let's be honest, everyone wants to see a good race and battling, but when you can't see it, it's just a bit rubbish. Cameron just seems to do really well at the moment, just really extending the gap. I'm quite quiet, I'm not going to lie, but there's not much to commentate on, there's not much to talk about, and I don't really have a lot of energy today, so today's my rest day from the gym, so, you know, a bit tired, just a little bit, boys, and girls, if there is any girls watching, but, yeah, seems like Sandro is just cruising, like he has been doing for the last couple of laps. Just got to appreciate the consistency from this guy right now. Very much a good race. From him at the moment. You've got to be very impressed with the racing from him at the moment. He's podium, and surely must be another podium for him today, as he nearly makes a mistake, but yeah, podiums, very impressive from him so far, and well, he should be very proud of himself. And the results he's had so far. It's very impressive. But Cameron has also proved that he's been on the ball. just by racing his races and kind of doing what he's needed to do in the race. It's not like he's, you know, he's not putting pressure on himself to do too well, I don't think. I haven't talked to Cameron in a while because we didn't get to do an interview last week with him. But at least, you know, we can see on track that he's doing pretty well. So, I mean, you can kind of see that Cameron has been pulling Sandro. Sandro has actually lost time to Cameron. Dion has lost loads of time to Cameron. But it seems to be that Cameron Weston Edwards is actually pulling in Sandro. And this is really, really good because this gives us another battle to watch and something for me to commentate over. You know, instead of waffling about life and what I think should happen and what I think is going on in the world or something like that. But Cameron just seems to be doing really, really well at the moment. He's catching Sandro. But yeah, been really impressive. He should be proud of himself. So you know, he's putting the pressure on Sandro, of course. Dion has kind of fizzled out these last couple of laps. He was in the race like half an hour ago, but just seems to be dropping off. We have 43 minutes of this race left. How many more laps we got? Well, you don't do it laps, but we've done 42 laps so far. Jensen, interestingly, has an 11-second penalty. That is quite big, considering Sandro only really needs to pull him in a little bit just to win the race. So it's be very interesting if timings shape out the way Sandro needs them to be. He needs to drive quicker though to get back into this race and win it. He could win this if he goes any quicker than what he's driving and starts pulling in Jensen. I mean, 11 seconds from this time right now. He needs to pull 7 seconds. 7.5 seconds to Jensen. If he gets in 7.5 seconds of Jensen, he should be okay. When I mean 7.5 seconds, I mean like if he gets to about 11 seconds, he should be in range to win. But Reese is pitting. Not really that interesting, to be honest. It's not like he's the race leader, but I still respect Reese to mention him still, because I know he's at the back, but still, it's got to have a mention. Because he is my IRL teammate. It seems like Sandro's picked up the pace and he's now dropping Cameron off to school. He's schooling him. But yeah, no, I just Seems like this race could get exciting if Jensen makes a mistake. Jensen makes a mistake, this race becomes very much more exciting. Especially if Jensen drops about 12-13 seconds. That means he's right in range of Sandro and the penalties, which could crucify Jensen here. Only needs to make one mistake. He only needs to go around one time, and that is enough time for him to get back in the race. No. Oh. I don't know if anyone's in the chat, but if anyone's in the chat, how are you doing? I don't know how many people are actually watching this race right now. To anyone who is watching, hello. It's really interesting to see just the pace switch though in Sandro. Just like, you know, he was like the same speed as, like, you see Sandro, Cameron and Dion were all with each other for a good couple of laps, right? Probably about 10 laps, and then out of nowhere Sandro's pace has blown up, Cameron's pace is also blown up. He's been doing really well the last couple of laps, and Dion just drops off. I mean, to be honest, I think the race is like kind of like a representative of, like, if you can get adapted to the track quickly, you can gain a lot of time, which is obviously ideal in any race. You know, the more you know a braking point can gain you about 2 tenths on the driver in front that doesn't know about that braking point, the better. But obviously, with some people, they just don't improve. See that Cameron still kind of on the same wavelength as Sandro when it comes to pace. Jensen just cruising up front. Don't know what car's behind him. So, interestingly, the predicament that I said was going to happen, if it did happen, is Jensen has made a mistake and Sandro is catching him now. And if you look at that time, 11.2 seconds. Guess what? Sandro doesn't have a penalty. Jensen does have a penalty, an 11-second penalty. So, if you really want to put this in perspective, Sandro's only 4 tenths away from Jensen. Sorry I went really quiet there. I've had parents' issues. They came in my room and started talking to me, so I can't tell them to go away. But it's very interesting to see this, because if Jensen makes another mistake, and this is very interesting if he does, because if he does, he will not win this race, and Sandro will. Jensen Randall, you better get a move on, mate. Cameron Weston Edwards, it's only 3.8 seconds behind Sandro now. It was 5 seconds a couple laps ago. Seems to be making good ground up on Sandro. Sandro making good ground up on Jensen. Come on, Sandro. I want you to win this race, my friend. I want a different winner from Jensen. Sorry, Jensen. I know you're British. I should be rooting for you. So, sorry, Mum. But it'd be nice to see someone like Sandro win. Jensen seems to be pulling just a little bit. Let's see how to make this interesting. Dion, he's been blown away. It's really ridiculous to see how actually, you know, how much Cameron and Sandro have just pulled their socks off of them. Yeah, no, we're pretty quick, mate. We'll just leave you behind. Acura, man, seems to be really good for Sandro. Seems to be really doing well in the car. Jensen really needs to get a move on. So, it's very interesting. Cameron has a 1 second penalty. Dion has a 5 second. Nick is still racing. He's 9 minutes behind. I don't understand Nick's thought process. I'd go home. I'd love to go play a different game. Jensen Randall go on board with him. We'll actually go in the cockpit with Jensen around him. See what he has been doing. Hits the apex very nicely. Hits the other apex very nicely. Runs off it just a tad. Runs off nice. Could just run onto the apex there. That's pretty good. Very nice turns. Hits the six apex again. Seems like whatever car is in front of Jensen is punching a hole right now. I don't know what car that is. I think it's the Ferrari of Jim. Yep. Oh, look at the absolute spin that he had there. And tyres really span up. We've got less than half an hour of this race left now. It doesn't seem like Sandro is pulling massively away from Cameron. Cameron does have the pace, but Sandro just really needs to crack on with this and really get down the time and really hope that Jensen makes a mistake. Well, it seems that Sandro's lost a bit of time to Jensen, which is a bit annoying, because we really do want to see this tight Delta battle. "25 minutes left." Really want to see Sandro start pulling out these lap times. Hopefully he can do a 22 in the last coming laps. Really put pressure on Jensen. It looks like Rene's in front of him though. Probably giving him a tow, punching a hole through the air that's in front of him. Probably not going to help him too much in corners though. Might slow him down just a little bit, but hopefully Rene can get the hell out of her way. Come on, Sandro. Really, really close. And you know what, it seems like Cameron's really close as well. He's really been pushing the last couple of laps. He's really been catching up to Sandro. Dion, I can't say the same for Dion. He's been pretty poor the last couple of laps. Really dropped off the pace. Really dropped off. In general, to be honest, it's not really been very impressive. Just making mistakes that have been costing him a lot of time. I think if Jensen gets another penalty, Sandro should be okay. He just needs to keep the gap down, but he really needs to pick up the pace. He does have Cameron behind him, and to be honest, having Cameron behind you isn't the best of things either, because he's also a very aggressive driver. He's going to dive bomb you and you're going to have to defend, and then you'll probably lose time to Jensen, which is not ideal for any driver, let's be honest. But hopefully these two can actually work together, which I doubt will happen, because these two are quite big rivals in most races, F1 and GT3. But we'll have to see what happens, and we'll just have to witness what's going on. Sandro has a 22.8, so a good time for him there, but Jensen also matches it with a 22.3, which is not encouraging. It's quite interesting how the race kind of changes with the implement of a penalty. You know, you can have no seconds and you'll feel happy in your position, but imagine you have like 6 seconds and someone's like 5 seconds behind you. You have to push really hard. Sometimes it can screw you over. Push too hard, well, you can kind of go into the walls and stuff, and it's not the most ideal thing, let's just say that. So the thing I keep spotting is Sandro gets it down to 11.8. But it just doesn't have enough to get it down. Wow, he's really extending it on the straights though. So it's 11.1 at the moment. So not too bad from Sandro there. Gain time on Jensen, but doesn't lose too much. Last lap, Jensen was a lot slower than Sandro. I don't understand how Sandro's lost time. So there's some weird deltas up in this house. Deltas on this game are very broken. That's why you'll never know when who will win and who won't win and all this stuff. I do hope that we get an interesting finish to this race. It'll be important for the championship also. Through the pit lane, hi mate, how are you doing my friend? It's nice to see someone in the chat. I feel like I've been chatting to myself for so long. I know that's what commentated is, but I feel like I've been talking for so long with no one here. It's so sad. How are you doing today? Is Reese your good old IRL teammate? But yeah, he is. Reese is my teammate. Yeah, he is. difficulties. I've had lots of people wanting to talk to me today. But, oh, it's you, Reese. Oh, damn. Alright, mate. How are you? How are you feeling for Britain this Sunday? Should be a good one, shouldn't it? Oh, God. But, you had to retire because you flipped. Fault, mate. It is what it is. Like, you had to retire from the race anyway because you just seemed like you were doing alright and then, like, you just didn't do well. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think really long races are the one, to be fair. Not feeling good, not gonna lie. I've had terrible week of league. Do you want to do some practice sessions with me? I don't mind doing it if you want to do them, but, you know, if you don't want to, that's fine, but it would be good to get some practice in because, well, if you don't feel confident and you're racing against me, you know, I'm kind of like the quicker out of the lot, so, you know, if you can do well with me, you'll be alright. But we're in the last 12 minutes this race. Well, near on 10 minutes now. 2 minutes, 10 minutes, we're all good. And then we nearly finished this race. It's been a long one today, boys. 2.4 hours, in fact. Very long race. You've got to be mentally endured for this race, because, to be honest, if you're not racing and you don't concentrate and you lose your time, oh, it's terrible. Oh, I'm very tired as well, so I do not know why though. We can do. I have to commentate a race tonight. It's not, I feel really slow, just that I disconnect. That's alright, that's fine. We can do practice sessions anyway. We'll do it after this if you want. Or, I know you said you got to commentate a race later, so you can do it later if you want, or like now, just so you can feel good. So we've got 11 minutes left of this race. Sandro doesn't seem to be closing the gap. Neither does Cameron. But I think the running order that I predicted from the start was all there, you know. Predicted that Sandro would get a podium, and at this rate he's getting one. Cameron also being one of those podium sitters. Not surprised Jensen's doing really well. You know, he's a really good racer, so, you know. But you're right, Farhan. You've got to have dinner and then you have to commentate him, but you can do tomorrow. Yeah, we can do tomorrow. It'll probably be better for tomorrow because then we have, like, you know, the race a little bit after as well. So, you know, that's all good, man. We'll do some practice tomorrow. Just tell me when you're on. You're right, Farhan. Farhan. I hope I'm saying your name alright, mate. Rags, man said bye, Reese. Wow, that's rude. But we're in the last 10 minutes of this race now. Just tick past the 10-minute marker. Oh, we thought you had to go have dinner. This is the more interesting than the race at the moment. Alright, see you later, Reese. Take care, mate. Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Thank you for asking. I'm good. Just a little bit tired. 2.4 hours of this is quite strenuous when you haven't eaten anything. And I'm meant to be bulking, so I need to eat a lot after this. So, yeah. But hopefully, Sandro can really pull in Jensen these last couple of minutes, because I really want someone else to win the race. And it'll be quite funny to see Sandro win the race, to be fair. Over penalties. Oh, God. I'm very tired. The energy is just not with at the moment. 24 hours of GT Sport Le Mans in summer. I'm just going to try and finish the race. Yeah, I don't know if I'll commentate that. I have other things to do. Oh, Cameron's dropped back massively. We have Max behind him actually. Fly high. I believe he'll actually get the position off Dion, even if he is behind, because Dion has 6 seconds and Fly high has none. So yeah, I believe he'll get the position off him. He just stays behind him. Sandro a little bit off Jensen now. I mean, he needs to knock off 3 seconds off his time, just to even get close to the race win. If he does that, he can taste the victory, but he's so close but so far at the same time. Jensen's just doing really well at, not bottling, which is important. We just watched Jensen for the last couple of laps, because if he does make a mistake, it does make a massive difference. Nick hasn't been the best this year. No, it's F1 and GT3. It's not been great at all. I'm quite surprised actually, but at the end of the day, that's just how Nick's season's gone so far. He's not been driving confidently in F1 or GT3, and that's just sometimes how racing goes. I mean, I'm a quick driver in F1, but sometimes I just get bad results because certain things happen, and that's just what happens sometimes, you know. Yeah, I'm pretty quick. I'd say I'm probably the 4th, arguably the 3rd quickest driver sometimes when I put my head to it. You know, Dennis is also a very quick driver. I battle with Dennis more, but he's been playing too many motorbike games. Yeah, too many motorbike games, man. He needs to focus more on the racing, in GT3 and F1. But I don't mind him doing bad in F1. That's another person that's slower than me. Someone who's in bad form, you know. So I'm not complaining. Nearly getting to the last 5 minutes of this race. I don't think Sandro will gain enough time, but if he does, we might be seeing a different winner than what we are seeing at the moment. But I feel like Jensen, he's got this sealed right now. I don't know if he'll make a mistake. I don't think he will, in my honest opinion. I don't know why this guy's pitting. I don't know why these people are pitting. I mean, there you have a lot of damage, so he has a lot of damage. That Ferrari, I don't really like the colour of that Ferrari. I don't like that Ferrari, to be honest. It's not looking very nice right now. It's very unappealing. Just honest opinions there. I don't really like that. Cameron's dropped off massively in his last couple of laps. Sandro, not dropped off, but he's not going to catch Jensen. Jensen's just too far ahead. Oh, and Sandro's got a 2-second penalty now, so yeah, no, Jensen I feel like's won this race today. Yeah, Jensen might round off and win today quite comfortably. Well, I say comfortably, not massively comfortably, because he has had Sandro making him work, but at this present moment it looks like Jensen's going to win, which is really good for him, pushing himself up that title, for the title championship, you know. It's very intriguing to see the fastest drivers, how they perform, because I wouldn't say Jensen's had the best of race like all the time. Like he hasn't had the best of race. A lot of the time he's been pretty sketchy, you know. But he's actually been really good this last couple of laps. First couple of laps. He's a bit sketchy, but he's done really well, to be fair. He should be very proud of himself. Oh goodness. Oh, I don't get paid anything for commentating, man. I might do two for... Look, see, this is why I'm a nice person. I don't get paid for doing this. Neither does Kamikaze Fox. We just do it out of the love of racing and for the league, to be honest. You know, I think I think commentators should be bigged up for how much they actually do for the league, because, you know, we don't get paid for this stuff, but we try our best. You know, 2.4 hours. I could do a lot of stuff in 2.4 hours, but I sat here and watched this race and commentated over this race and tried to do my best. You know, I think the drivers appreciate it. You know, if we're not here, they don't really have a commentator to see their race and oversee what's going on. So I don't get paid anything, dude. It's just out of hobby, to have fun and kind of just watch these guys race. Yeah, man, I don't get paid nothing. Hey, don't say LOL. In an LOL moment. So here we go. Jensen Randall wins the race. GT3 round 3, round Spa. Does really well. Doing donuts in celebration there. Should be really proud of himself. We have a Sandro Dilius, second place. Congratulations to Jensen, Cameron Weston Edwards. Over the line that is P3. P4 will go to Dion. P4. for Dion. Oh, he's lost his rear wing. Yeah, P4 for Dion. Quite an easy win for him today. Jensen Randall just controlled the race. Made a couple mistakes at the start, but did well. Got through the storm. Sandro did really well. Back to back podiums now, so he'll be really happy with that. You know, I would. But yeah, it was a good race today. It's good to see from everyone. The good racing. I need to add everyone to the chat now. So we will get everyone. Right, so that is finishing order. Jensen Randall, Sandro, Cameron Weston Edwards, Dion, Jeremy Pope, Samuel, Max Mulder, Jim, Rene Van Stat, and Nick Van Gelder, and obviously the drivers that quit and didn't even finish the race. But that was a very, very interesting race, to say the least. No surprise in the finishing order though. I wasn't surprised Jensen has finished the race in such a high position. Best lap out of everyone on track. Very impressive from the drivers today. I think you'll be really happy with that. Long race though, very long race, and you just got to kind of congratulate the drivers at the end of the day on their endurance and, you know, how well they've actually done to kind of forge that result for themselves. Now we're going to get everyone in to see what they have to say.
Jensen won't make it because he got a...
Oh,
he has to go and do another lead.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Alright, so we're not going to be able to talk to Jensen Randall today, our race winner, but I'm sure he's very happy with that result because it pushes him higher into the top of the championship. But we do have Sandro Dulius and Cameron Weston Edwards. Sandro coming on the back of a good result. Back to back podiums, which I'm sure he's very happy about. Sandro Dulius, how do you feel about triple podiums?
Yeah, man, thanks for having me. Well, I'm definitely very happy. I mean, I've been super consistent so far this season, haven't made many mistakes, which I'm really happy about. Yes, Jensen was just in another zip code once again. It got very close in the end with the penalties, and I think if I'd taken less fuel during the pit stop, which still would have worked out in the end with getting towards the finish, I might have saved like about 6 seconds, so it could have been much closer there in the end. I might have had a shot at the win, but yeah, ultimately Jensen got it, and definitely congratulations to him. But yeah, it's a good points day. P2 gonna pick up a lot of points once again. The gap between me and Jensen for the championship lead is still quite close. So yeah, man, I'm quite happy.
Yeah, it was very good for you today. I was looking at the penalties at the end also, and Jensen had 11, and you had none at one point, and I was like, the gap is really close because you really closed in the last couple of laps. And I was really kind of rooting for you to try and get the win today because I was like, I'd blow the championship wide open a bit more, you know, and you'd go top of the championship. I think it'd be joint or something like that. It would be really interesting to see, and the championship has been more interesting at the start of the season. You know, it's been very good. There's been a lot of different drivers. You know, Jeremy Pope also being one of those drivers who won the race but has kind of fell back a little bit. But it's been very impressive to see your consistency throughout the races. It just seems like you wait for other drivers to make mistakes and you just pick them all up at the end. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I think that's kind of the way I'm operating this season. It's not like I have outright the most pace, but that's not how I set up my car either, and that's not what I'm focusing on. It's endurance racing. Ultimately, endurance racing is about consistency and not making mistakes. I think this has come to me handy so far this season and worked out quite well as well. 2 weeks ago at Imola, where I just stayed behind the two cars ahead of me, waited for them to make mistakes, pick up penalties, and ultimately I picked up P3 last week. Today was quite similar. There were many people having issues, making mistakes, and also Cameron there in the end, when he was slowly catching up to me, he got into some trouble there. And I just kept my nose clean and took home the good P2 finish. And yeah, I hope I can continue that in the upcoming races.
Was you surprised about Cameron being so quick, or did you know going into this race that Cameron was one of those drivers that was going to keep you on your toes?
No, you can't be surprised about Cameron Weston Edwards being quick. He showed some great pace last time out at Imola, fighting for the win for a long period of time. And Cameron is generally someone that's very quick and aggressive. I had some great battles with him today. We kept it very clean, aggressive, some good defending, and yeah, always having a blast. Always a blast racing Cameron. And yeah, I hope he can keep up his good runs as well.
Yeah, it was very, very good racing from you guys today, especially on board with me from the helicopter. It's just that the end of the straight, you guys battling into the left, right, and it was very intriguing to see the pace, because you, Dion, and Cameron were all with each other at one point, and you all seemed to have the same amount of pace. And you were all squabbling with each other, and it really was interesting to see, the pace. But out of everyone else, you came off on top. So well done for that today, Sandro.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man.
Anyways, take care, man. Well done for today's race.
I appreciate it. See ya, man.
See you there, man. So now we have Cameron Weston Edwards finishing on the podium for the second time now. I think you'll be really happy with that result. Cameron, how do you feel about today's result, my friend?
Overall, probably quite pleased.
Yeah.
P3, I think P2 was on the cards, but I think I can take P3 and be happy with it.
Yeah, it was a good race from you today. You really shocked me. Like, I think there was one point you had loads of pace, and then one point you kind of dropped off a little bit, and then at the end, I think you went on an assault. You absolutely pushed the limit out of that car, and it was really impressive to see the pace you got out of it. And obviously I didn't get to talk to you about last week either, but you seem to be very confident in that car and really pushing it around the tracks. Is there any reason for that confidence, or is it just, the stability's there?
It's just the setup's quite dialed in. I've got a nice setup on the Audi, and I feel comfortable pushing it. I haven't been facing the wrong way at any point so far this season, and it's not the best car on the grid, and in hindsight I wouldn't be driving it, but I do feel confident to push that car, and obviously it's very important to be able to push these endurance cars.
The consistency from you in the last two races, because obviously round one was an amazing for you. I think a couple of drivers kind of lost their bearings, such as Jensen Randall. He didn't have an amazing result in round one also, but I feel like the last two races you guys have really come on. And do you feel like you could take it to Jensen in a couple of races?
Well, there's only 3 rounds left, and I think I'm probably about 10 points behind him in the championship now, so I think we'd need a bit of luck. Probably one of those very wet races where
he struggles.
Out the window.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't write it off. I think me and Sandro are going to be second and third in the title. Don't know if we'll need a bit of luck to take it to Jensen.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I think Jensen is a really quick driver, but from watching him, sometimes he's quite inconsistent and spins around, especially in that wet race. I think that's where he was really challenged, and I think that's where you lot could really get them points over him. And hopefully in the last couple of races that actually happens, because the fight for the championship is obviously the most important. And I really want to see the people who aren't considered, obviously like Jensen Randall pace, to win this championship, because it would be a really nice thing to see. You know, you don't really want to see the same drivers winning the races all the time. You know, it's a bit like F1. You don't want to keep seeing Mercedes win every race. So, you know, when you see the likes of, I don't know, Max Verstappen or even Red Bull, whoever it is, and you see them win a race, you're happy. So yeah, hopefully that happens in the next couple of rounds. But well done for today, man. It's good drive from you.
Thank you.
Anyways, that is the end of today's operations, and we're going to close off. Thank you for watching the race, if you did stick through it all. It was a very long race. It's as long as for the drivers as it is for the commentators, especially when there's no battles out on track, but we appreciate it all. And we'll see you later. So take care, guys. See you in a bit.